let us just establish a common agenda on what we shall be discussing today. All right. The agenda that we shall be discussing today is very simple. The different types of scholarships available for the students to go abroad when they can take up. The GRE scores required for scholarships is some very important discussion that we'll have. The other criteria to get scholarships, one more discussion, and when to apply and how to apply is the last part of the discussion today. All right. So this is the agenda of today's online seminar. Does it sound good? So let's just start discussion about this particular. The very first question I want to ask you guys is, when you talk about scholarships, a lot of people always, this has always been a very, very vague subject. When people talk about scholarships, a lot of people are unaware of what information it is out there. All right. So that is the intention of today's online seminar, to give you the complete understanding of how the scholarship system works. How can you apply for scholarships as well? Right. Now, if you look at the overall finance that you're going to spend when you go abroad, is kind of on your screen right now. The expenses is nothing but your tuition fee plus living cost. One of the huge blunders most of the engineers or most of the students who go abroad do is they forget completely about the living cost, and they only concern about what the tuition fee is, how much I need to pay for the college. That's all they think, and that's the money they prepare as well. So they completely forget about the living cost, which includes the accommodation. Like Asta Bapna just said, yes, health insurance is a very critical issue when it comes to going US. So living cost is something you guys need to consider very closely, guys. Now, most of you guys already told me that it could 30 lakhs, 40 to 60. When I asked how much do you think you'll invest, I can see Adi Batala said 40 to 60 lakhs or 30 lakhs at least. Right. On an average, how many guys very clearly know how much cost it is going to be per year? You guys have all taken a guess right now, right? So do you have any idea to the exact breakdown on how do you explain the 30 lakhs? How do you explain the 60 lakhs? Let me just give you an ideal budget, a typical budget that is to be expected from one of the very reputed universities from the US, the Illinois Institute of Technology. So if you're interested, I'll just show you a budget of how their fee structure is per year. You could just look at the fees and then try to understand what is the exact breakdown when it comes to these 30 lakhs to 40 lakhs. All right. The budget is on your screen right now. The tuition fee costs about $19,000 for a year, and the room and accommodation costs about $12,000. The health insurance is very important. It might not be as important as you think right now, but when you go abroad, health insurance is very, very important. Hi, Raven. Good to have you today. Now, health insurance is $830, and book supplies, all these small issues. CTA U-Pass is nothing but university pass. This is something that you guys need to get if you have to enter the university, especially the Illinois Institute of Technology. They have their own system where only when you give a U-Pass, you'll be allowed to enter the university. It's like an ID card that you follow in your colleges, and the orientation fee, service fee, and other expenses. So guys, can you add this down and convert to, most of you guys are going to give you a GRE very soon, right? So all you GRE aspirants, let me check your quant skills. Can you convert the $34,000 into Indian money and tell me how much that would be? So this is what the ideal breakdown looks like. So without this kind of clarity, if you start your financial planning, you will not be able to make the best out of it. So Jyoti, yes, you have found the chat box. If you have any doubts, please do ask it out. Now, the next question is, when to apply for scholarships? So many people know about the scholarships. They think that the moment I get an admission, then I'll just go ahead and start applying for scholarships, right? So when to apply for scholarships is the next question a lot of people are asking me right now. If you look at when to apply for scholarships, one thing you need to be very, very clear is scholarship deadlines and admission deadlines are not the same every time. Your date of application might be completely different to compare to scholarship deadlines. A lot of universities do have the scholarship deadlines after admission deadlines, but there are very few universities who have it before as well. So you need to be very, very planned and very, very prepared if you're looking for scholarships. Scholarship dates are displayed on the website of respective colleges. If you're looking for scholarships, that means you should ideally know what are the universities you're expecting admissions from. Students need to check beforehand and apply. Applications are open from September through January. This is the fall 17 admissions. But most of the top-notch university close their deadlines before November. That is October last will be the best time to apply for top universities. Now, Guys, I can see so many questions popping up, but because of the huge list of attendees, I'm not able to take a lot of questions. Don't worry. All your questions will be addressed at the end of the seminar. All right. So guys, are we clear so far on when to apply for scholarships? So Satvik Gupta says yes. Everyone. Ravinder says yes. Are we very clear about when to apply for scholarships? If you're looking for scholarships, you need to be very clear of which college you're going to go abroad. You need to look at the university website and find the scholarship deadline. It is not necessarily same as the admission deadline. So how to apply for scholarship is the next question. That's a very, very popular questions that I can see. For applying for scholarship, something called the scholarship form or the application form. Every university has their own scholarship form and their own scholarship criteria. There is no particular thing. For example, there are certain universities which offer scholarship based on your revenue or the income that you have. Certain colleges have these Asian based scholarships, Europe based scholarships, all these. There are different types of scholarships available out there, and some additional prerequisites might be required. For example, video interviews, essay for scholarship, usual application documents like your financial documents. These will be required as a prerequisite for your scholarship application. All right. So essay for scholarship is something that you need to understand very clearly. Now, when I talk about scholarships, do you guys know there are different types of scholarships? There's no only one thing as scholarships. Now, ideally, scholarships are something as scholarships itself. There's one category. And then there's something called tuition fee waivers, which is give based on merit. A lot of people told me merit-based tuition fee waivers, merit-based scholarships. The other word for them is called tuition fee waivers. That means they completely waive off a part of your tuition fee, like 25%, 30%, 45%, depending on the profile that you boast, depending on the quality of your SOP, depending on your GRE score. There are a lot of criteria that the university enlists in their websites where you can find them. All right. The next part is fellowships. Fellowships are nothing but the kind of research. They'll waive off a part of your tuition fee, but expect you to work for them, work as a RA, work as a TA. So it would be wrong statement if anyone told you that this is the GRE score you need to get a scholarship. Please do not believe that. There's nothing as such as if you get this GRE score, your scholarship is guaranteed. It completely depends on the kind of application that's coming. It kind of completely depends on what kind of students apply in that particular year. All right. Now, the next part is research assistantships and teaching assistantship. Now, Arnava says, does work experience help in scholarship? Arnava, I wouldn't ideally say work experience would guaranteedly help you in scholarships. See, if your work experience is related to the field that you want to pursue an MS in, yes, it is an advantage that it offers. But if your work experience is not related, for example, if you pursue an EC, then you jump to an IT job, then you're going to do an MS and EC again, your IT job did not add any value to your profile, Arnava, so that won't help you in getting a scholarship. All right. So I'll coming back to the what we were discussing, the research assistantship and the teaching assistantship. Now there are a lot of students out there. Can you please tell me what is your primary motivation to pursue an MS? Most of you guys in the audience are very clear you want to do an MS. What is your primary motivation? So Palakriti says research, definitely. Satvik says research. Better job opportunity, says Pragadish. Gaining knowledge, says Shweta. Sorry, Shweta says that. Research, says Sayanita. Interest in an area, okay. Research and job, better career span to improve my career. Fantastic. So I can see so many divisions right now. Half of the people are telling me research is what they're looking for, while other half is looking for more of a knowledge gain basis or to improve their career, right? For the people who are looking for research, this is a fantastic opportunity that you get when it comes to research assistantships. Research assistantship, people almost, what you do is the moment you get an admission, you get to apply abroad. You get to apply for these RA. To the universities, wherein if a faculty is looking for some assistantship in their projects, in their papers, you get to assist them in their research work. It's a phenomenal job, phenomenal opportunity for students who are looking for research facilities, because the kind of exposure that you will be given is just fantastic. The best part is you will be paid and given opportunity for the same. All right. So that's what research assistantship and the teaching assistantship, the next part. There are always students, a lot of students in the audience I've seen very clearly also are not too much of a research people, but want to extend their knowledge, want to take their step to the next career. Want to take the next step for their career. So these kind of people can look for teaching assistantship. Teaching assistantship are nothing but people who can apply for this will be teaching undergraduates. For example, if you go to a university like say MIT, if you go to a university like Caltech, there'll be students in undergraduates, right? You will be assisting a professor in teaching undergraduate. It involves a lot of work like tutoring, like lab work. There'll be a lot of things behind it. So that's what teaching assistantship is about. This helps you build a relationship for a very social person. How many guys in the audience are extroverts or a very social person and like to mingle around people? So Satvik, wow, a huge list of attendees are saying yes, yes, me. For you guys, teaching assistantship is a fantastic job because you get to interact with undergraduates there who are actually as good as you are. So the kind of exposure you get is completely different. The culture diversity is also fantastic. All right. The next comes the on-campus jobs. How many guys know about the on-campus jobs? There are very few universities in this India that offers on-campus jobs. Very few universities, very fantastic universities that offer these on-campus jobs. But not a lot of people know about it, right? This on-campus jobs is a way that you guess. So Shrirupa says Shivnari University does. Yes, Shrirupa, Shivnari University does offer this on-campus job. So on-campus job is nothing but a place where you can spend about 20 hours. It's a concept where you spend 20 hours on a particular job while you are studying. For example, as a librarian, or in a admissions team, or as a or a way to teach. A TA is part of an on-campus job, or you can help cleaning the campus. Every week, you're supposed to put 20 hours of your time into a particular job while you're in your college itself, inside college itself, and you'll be paid on a hourly basis. For each hour, you'll be paid around $8 to $10. So imagine the kind of money you will make if you're making every week 20 hours, 20 to $10, $200. Over 4 weeks, you'll be making $800. That'll be the kind of pocket money that you can make for yourself. All right, so that's one way to earn back the money that you're investing. And then of course there are internships. Every semester end you can take internships that will help you earn a lot of money. But internships hunting is a very difficult process. You need to be a very sound professional. You need to be having good relationship with your professors if you're looking for internships. All right, now Naveen says, how many hours can we give for assistants? I believe we're talking about campus jobs, Naveen Sai. On an average, you can give a maximum of 20 hours during your semester times, and during the summer breaks and the winter breaks, you can give about 40 hours. Now, Shweta has a fantastic question, just as expected by a lot of students. Can I get two kinds of scholarships among the listed ones, like at the same time TA and a RA, a fellowship and a teaching assistantship? Yes, it is possible, and it has happened before. You can get a scholarship and a research assistantship. You can get a tuition fee waiver and a teaching assistantship, but you cannot get both RA and TA, or you cannot get both RA and an on-campus job. The reason being, the time that you need to invest in a RA, in a TA, on-campus jobs is very high. Your academic loads will be too high that you cannot be both research assistantship and on an on-campus job. That will completely drain you off, and you won't be able to concentrate on what you actually have to concentrate on, that being your academics. All right, so scholarships are given to students ideally or very few international students. On an average, students gets around $2,000 per month. Student can look for scholarships from international and humanitarian organizations. We have mentioned both of these organizations in the blog link I have sent you. You could read up the blog to understand more about it. All right, so the next thing that you need to understand is the fellowships. Now, fellowships are not very different from scholarships. These are basically grants given by universities or donor associated with university. For example, alumni who has already passed out this college will be sponsoring a part of this college every year. So like a $5,000 scholarship fellowship every year. So you get to win that fellowship by showcasing some research work, some paper, some research paper that you have published. Especially there are a lot of these universities that give you this opportunity of doing research right now. If you have any research paper published, fellowships are something that you can definitely make the best out of. This is all about research assistantship. The next part is a teaching assistantship, which is a job I definitely would love to have. Most of my students go for teaching assistantship, and they ensure they get it as well. It is offers an opportunity to learn how to teach. It's a fantastic place. Now, for a teaching assistantship, you need to have a very good TOEFL score or the IELTS score that you will be giving that the university wants. It helps you develop an excellent understanding of the course material in exchange for tuition remission. All right. On an average, students get roughly between $6,000 to $15,000 a semester. Can you guys imagine that kind of money? Sorry, that's in a year. I'm sorry about that. It's $6,000 to $15,000 in a year. So that will definitely be a huge boost for your scholarships. Now, if you're able to imagine if you're able to make $10,000 by yourself, so over 2 years you'll be making $20,000. So isn't that big enough money to save some that you're investing? Nyanendra, TA, yes, it sounds good, but trust me, RAs are paid much better than this. Now, Naveen Sai says, what is the scoreline mark for IELTS and TOEFL? Again, as I said, Mahesh, any call if you make, there's no one particular requirement as such. If you get this score, you will get a TA. It depends on what kind of applications come in that particular year, and then there'll be some trademark built. If you cross that, you will be able to get a TA or a RA or even the admit for that matter of fact. So the next part is kind of a very important tuition fee waiver part. This tuition fee waiver is something that you get even before you go for your application, even before you go for your university. It is a deduction of It is a deduction in tuition fee. It depends upon the academic profile, GRE and TOEFL score, research work and projects. The percentage varies from 10% to 100%, guys. There are students who have got 100% tuition fee waiver, but due to disclosure, we cannot reveal the name of the student. Last year, fall 16, this student from CMU was able to get the 100% tuition fee waiver because of his fantastic profile in research work specially. All right. So the tuition fee, for example, the tuition fee for NCSU is $19,000, which is 12 lakhs, and a waiver of 40% would mean you'll be able to save 4.8 lakhs. You'll be able to save almost 1/3 of your investment, which is a huge, huge thing for most of you guys. All you need for a good tuition fee waiver is a very high GRE score, a very good profile, which includes your SOP, your LOR, and your most important, your CGPA as well. All right. So be very clear, guys. CGPA might be too late for most of you guys to improve, but try to give a fantastic SOP. Your SOP and your GRE score are the two factors that's in your hand right now. How many guys agree with me? Your CGPA, it's too late to improve. For example, your profile building is not something you can have direct control over, but a GRE score and your SOP, these two are completely in your hand right now. If you prepare well and if you do well, you can definitely get a high GRE score. SOP is the only place, the statement of purpose. I can see a lot of people don't know about SOP. SOP is nothing but statement of purpose. Shirupa Sen, LOR is letter of recommendation that your professors provide that recommending Shirupa Sen to a particular university. All right. So coming back to what we were discussing, SOP is a statement of purpose where you get to talk about yourself, where you get to expose why you are so passionate about that particular MS. All right. So please try to give a fantastic SOP. So next part is the on-campus job. Like I think Shirupa Sen from our audience talked about how one of the universities in India do offer these on-campus jobs. It's a fantastic experience. See, not everyone would be inclined towards research assistantship. Not everyone would be very social to be a teaching assistantship. How many guys in the audience are like that? Neither here, neither or there. Deepak says me. Okay. Me says Manideep. Pragati says me. All right. So these two also have a lot of audience. So Prakar, Ravinder, Akhil, these guys, we're not very social. Neither are we very into research work. Understandable. This is something that guys might be interested. The on-campus jobs, the part-time jobs inside the campus. The international students are allowed to work for 20 hours in a week with F1 visa. The visa that you get when you go for your education. In summer vacation, you can spend about 40 hours. Pradu, F1 visa is a visa that you get when you go abroad. That's a very basic category. Now, students are paid around $7 per hour to all the way till $12 per hour. There's a variation in that. Minimum is $7 per hour. So 20 into 7 a week is 140, and 140 into 4, you know the money. So that's the kind of money you will be able to make. So you might not have to be ideally dependent on your parents completely for your expenses. That itself in a way is saving money, guys. That also is technically is a scholarship, which is what I am trying to explain you guys. All right. Now Vishnu says, but that way we can focus more on the MS course. That's not true, Vishnu. Most of the students from GRH who go abroad take up this on-campus jobs because it's about very good planning. If you're able to plan your week out perfectly, you will be able to get that job done in time. For example, working in library, working in computer labs, cafeterias, reception, administration department, there are a lot of things that you can do. The next part is the criteria for scholarship. The very first criteria I want to put it point blank is your GRE score, guys. GRE score obviously is the very first criteria to even get into a particular university with scholarships. So be very clear about that. Your academic performance. Your academic performance, nothing but the CGPA that you have, the projects that you have done in your final year and in your preceding years, the internships that you've done in your college times. The third is a TOEFL/IELTS score. In fact, every university in the US requires at least a TOEFL or IELTS. All right. Then leadership and volunteering. So how much of a leadership and volunteering you have done in your college, or for working professionals in the audience, this is where you can leverage your experience as a team leader. The next part is achievements, paper publications. If you have any research papers published, if you have helped any of your professors publish a paper, those kind of experience would come in handy here. The last two, letter of recommendation and statement of purpose. I cannot stress enough the importance of statement of purpose, because guys, if your statement of purpose is not interesting enough, you might as well say goodbye to your MS dreams, because statement of purpose is very, very important. If the admission committee finds your statement of purpose to be interesting, it definitely almost guarantees an admission. So the first part, your GRE score, and the last part, statement of purpose, are the most crucial criteria for even an admission as well as scholarship. All right. So are we clear, guys? Now Siddharth Gulati again has a question. He says, what is the minimum GRE score needed to be considered for scholarship in top-notch institutes like CMU and GATEC? Siddharth, as I told you already, there is no particular score. There's no exact number that if you get this number, you will be able to get a scholarship. Because as I said, it varies from every year to every university as well. Whatever kind of applicants that they get in CMU this year, for example, let's say applying for fall 17. All right. So if 90% of the candidates apply with a score of 320 plus, it obviously implies the cutoff score will be about 320. If the 90% of the students apply with 320 less score, then the cutoff will be below 320. I hope I'm able to make it very clear, guys. So Siddharth, is that clear? And everyone else, are we clear about that part alone? Yes, says Akhil. All right. Now, how to score about 320 or 325 plus? Yes, Prarup, we'll be getting to that very soon. Do not worry. All right. So this talks about criteria of scholarship as such. Now, the GRE score required for scholarship is something very important. Most of you guys are ideally looking for. See, GRE score is one of the very important criteria, yes, and the average GRE score required for good universities is 315. This is just an approximate number. I would not count this number to be very credible. Ideally, if you get a 160 plus on your verbal and 160 plus on your quant, yes, there are more chances of scholarship. Your AWS score is very, very important. That should be also 4 plus. So guys, are you aware about GRE completely, or people have questions about GRE as well? So Vidya says she's very clear. Kevin, Siddharth, yes, absolutely, says Sainita. Okay, I can see a lot of questions on what is AWA. All right, not so much as Dipanjali. All right, for the people who are not very aware of GRE, let me just give you a small intro. GRE is an examination that you need to go if you want to go for an MS or a PhD abroad. It has two sections. One is quant and verbal. The other section is called AWA, Analytical Writing Assessment, where you will be required to write 2 essays, one on an issue and another on an argument. And that is evaluated out of 6, where you need to score at least 4 or 4 above to get scholarships. All right. Now, most of the students ask for people who got full funding. Most of the guys in the audience are looking for people who got full funding, right? You want to see the sample profiles. Am I right? All right. So too many yes from the audience right now. Wow, very energetic audience. That's very good to see. So guys, these are the GREH alumni who got full funding. Harnoor Kaur, she got 313 with no work experience, but she got a Texas Tech University and got full funding. Ankit Agarwal got 325 and he got full funding from Zurich with a work experience. Siddharth Shailata 324, Sunny Buffalo, full funding. Shivam Shada, this guy was very interesting. He got a 303 score and got a scholarship, full funding because of his fantastic profile. I don't remember what area of interest was he in. He had a fantastic research paper published on his hand, so that helped him. And Vikram Gaur got from NIT Jaipur, scored 331. 331, guys, it's definitely possible that you guys can think. All right. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a huge pleasure talking to you guys. If you're interested, sign up for my upcoming webinars. Tomorrow we have a webinar on how to prepare for GRE in 45 days, especially for the students who are interested in spring season. Tomorrow is the seminar you need to attend. You can understand how you can prepare for GRE in just 45 days. That will be very, very helpful for you guys. Also, we'll be signing up. We'll be starting more webinars very soon. It will be updated in the same page link that I have given you right now. All right. So I hope I'll see you in the upcoming seminars, right? So will I see you in the upcoming seminars, guys? On that note, let me just sign off. This is Vishnu signing off. A very good evening and take care, guys. I hope I see you in the upcoming seminars. Good night.